Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through!
In a world where nerds needed a space to call their own, 4 guys heeded the call to arms and crossed the drawbridge into the Fumble Factory. On that day, Fumble Through was born.
Fumble through.
Fumble through.
Fumble through.
I like
I
fumble
made
through.
that so cinematic.
Yeah, I just
and
didn't-
you guys all
I
went
just didn't
like-
know where to yell in.
Yeah,
the
we-
fumble through.
Yeah, it was there.
I fumble through with my family, quarter mile at a time.
Yeah. And this is where, like, I need some snippets
My
from you.
family.
Like, okay, give me a
Get to the factory.
give me a Miles McCarthy sleep strike.
Sleep strike.
And
Hiya!
I think Richie's ever said that. And something that flops you. Forget about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
We are once again in the Fumble Factory, and I am loving it. It has been a while, and look, I'm ready to roll some dice, but I know that we still need to prep, and we still need to get some shit together, and our lives are taking a bit of a precedence, I guess, for us at the moment.
If we
Not
could
that this
move off a
isn't.
reel to reel to edit on, that would be great.
Yeah, that's right. So we got a couple of things in the pipelines going on for this show, but this is about connecting. And last week we did a little bit of connection around what's going on here, and we were doing a great job. Oh, thanks, overhead guy. But okay, that's a bit that didn't work.
There was a guy in the 90s that used to do the voiceovers for pretty much every trailer.
Fire
And he
and
earned
desire.
so much to me.
So much. The inner world.
Yeah.
The,
The world with the bird. No, wait, don't worry. Go on.
yeah, but look, we are
The
here.
burn? Hang on a second.
I was supposed to be
Hang on.
in a world
In
where
a-
the sun burns cold and the wind blows colder. A visitor has come. That's the Alien 3 trailer. It was such a good trailer with that. as
My
well.
favorite one of those.
But what he said was, in a world where the burn was come.
My favorite one of those ever. Have you ever seen the original trailer for Star Wars? Like the A New Hope original trailer?
No, I don't
A
think I have.
guy, a girl, and a galaxy.
Really?
Yeah, that is literally the quote from it. It is so good. It is really, really cool. But anyway, it is really nice to be here again. Look, I know that it has been a stretch, and we haven't got the most amount of time in the world at the moment with all the stuff that we're doing. So it's really nice that we can take the time. So thank you for being here. Stop giving me the finger. Stop giving me the finger.
Put your pants back on.
Okay. Oh, I was giving it to myself. How you guys? What are you up to? What's a crack-a-lackin'? Who's bought new dice lately? Anyone?
I
Anyone?
actually have put it on. I've gone on a hiatus for dice purchases in a minute.
I bought little dice. Okay, the last dice that I bought were little dice.
Yes,
you
true.
and I went to a
Yes,
shop. We
yep.
went to Irresistible Force
Irresistible Force in Tanamara.
in Tanamera, and we found little 10 mil, and I am addicted to 10 mil
Yep,
dice.
you
I
have
love
got a
them.
large
I love
collection
them
of those, haven't
because
you?
they fit. There's lots
his
of them
butt.
that fit in.
Because they make,
It's a very small hole.
they make your penis look big.
Yeah. That's right. So, yeah, but who else has bought some dice lately?
I love going to Random Encounter Dice online and
Yeah, they're good.
checking out
Really
their stock.
good.
I haven't made a purchase. I did my tax recently.
Mhm.
Was able to claim but your hobby as a job is a really good way to claim
jobby.
stuff.
That's not a hobby, it's a jobby.
I realised how much I'd spent on dice when I did my tax. So
Oh, really?
I've just
Yikes.
pulled the brakes on a little bit.
Do you need to talk about that on, like, does there need to be a record of this tax fraud that you're doing?
What tax fraud? It's not tax fraud.
Okay, good. Just
Do you
checking.
need to join Dice Buyers Anonymous?
No,
DBA.
it's not a problem if I can control it.
Yeah.
I can quit anytime I want.
I'll just roll this dice to see.
I think the last dice set that I bought was Sophie's Lucky Dice from Reaper.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Because I think you get them as
Yeah, I got 'em when I
part
did
of
the
a
Kickstarter,
Kickstarter.
Yeah, wow.
And I was so enthralled by them. I thought I'll get myself a set of those. So yeah,
You know what I just thought as you said that? Those little dice that I bought, now this is the weirdest fucking thing in the world. They're dice for my car. I keep them in my car just in case of
you have
emergencies.
emergency dice set.
And I have forgotten my dice. So they sit
Yeah.
in my dashboard just in case. Like that is
hilarious.
in case of emergency. Can you
do they
imagine what
sit in
happens in a... Hey?
Are they in foam or do they roll around?
No,
and
they're in
rattle
like a
around?
little tube. But,
So you've got dice rattling around in your dashboard.
well, no, they don't rattle. They're quite good. Yeah, everyone needs car dice. Lindsay?
Oh, I've got
I
card
haven't
dice.
bought. I don't. Well, we know this. I only buy dice
He
when.
sounded like a robot, then it was malfunctioning.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Does not compute.
I only buy dice when I have a new character. So
Okay.
you haven't killed him yet.
I
So
thought your character was dad of 2. Is that your new character?
I guess, but I don't need dice. I have been seeing those rings
Yeah.
that you spin the ring and it rolls the dice.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that'd be pretty cool to always
Yeah.
have a dice on hand. You spin the ring, and
And get those. Oh, is that like a fleshlight thing?
I'm sure someone has
That's
done
gonna
that.
die.
Spin the ring. Mm.
And get there. How? Okay, speaking.
D20 cock ring.
Well, that'd
there's
be
some merch
spiky.
there. There's some merch
that
for
would
us
be
there.
spiky though.
I'd be flat out getting to a D6.
Write that on the whiteboard, please. D20 cock ring.
How is being a
Vibrating.
dad? How is being a dad of 2? How is what has changed in your life since you have been a duo dad?
Well, I have had to teach. I don't know if I've spoken about this yet. I've had to teach my 2-year-old to not pick up the baby
No, pick the baby.
because I had a moment the other week where I had the baby was sitting in her little
Mhm.
chair, and Lorelai was out there drawing or something, and I went and put something in my room. And I came back and Lorelai's walking up the hall carrying the baby.
Oh, gosh.
So had to have a conversation about that.
Hmm.
So,
Everything's going well though.
but yeah, it's been good.
Yep.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know there's anything wrong with her.
But there's nothing wrong with her.
You know, we used to say that
She's
about
beautiful.
Justin.
There is nothing
She
wrong
is.
with her.
We used to say that about Justin after I dropped him when carrying him down the hallway.
You'd
Even
still
the
don't.
scar is almost completely gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What, where
Wow.
Justin got dropped?
Yeah, it's just part of my head.
Just emotional now.
that's the grey part.
Yeah, part
of his
of
head.
my emotional center is flat on my head.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good. Look, I know having multiple children was difficult. Like, I guess for all of us now, we have multiple childs, those things,
Chillin'
offspring, little demons.
people.
But what I found was, I guess from first child to second child, everything doubled in time. Everything was like how long it took to get one kid in the car.
More than doubled.
It
It's
took-
worse.
It took 2 kids to get in the car. And unlike you guys, I got 3 kids. You take how long 2 kids takes. When the 3rd kid arrives, you double that time again. It's not just another third of time. You double the 2. And then you go to the shops and you always lose one and you find them in some kind of van
What?
giving out candy. I don't understand.
They're giving out candy.
Yeah.
Very
my,
entrepreneurial.
my kids are, yeah.
They're Indian. Yeah.
They're
I always
What?
said
not my ones. They come from someone else.
milkman's from Czechoslovakia.
Thanks, Brett.
I've always said that one kid you can tag in and out, so you can have a break. 2 kids, it's man on man. You've got to be everyone. 3 kids, you are outflanked every time
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go. There is sneak attack. There is all kinds of problems with more than 2 kids.
You've only got two hands to be able to deal with them. I always call it the air, the spare, and the I don't care. Because by the time the 3rd one, there's no rules. There's nothing. Like the 3rd one, look, first one, I'm like regimented bedtime. 3rd one comes along, it's like, you shut up, otherwise you wake 2 other people up and then I have to deal with 3 of you. Here's candy. Here is whatever you want. You want an iPad? I'll give you an iPad.
Does Candy
Take
still live next door?
it. Yeah, the stripper.
Oh, my word.
Right near the masturbatory.
Yeah, I was going to say in his safe space, Zen space,
My Zen garden. Oh.
next to the gnomes.
How are your kids, Luke?
Yeah,
How's being a dad?
don't worry about it.
You've been doing a lot of home renos and stuff. How are you coping? Because your kids are they're under 10s.
Yes,
they're in
so
that
nine
area.
And 9 and 6, and I find it interesting when you said about everything doubles when you get the extra child. But what we found is no time to get ready has been changed at all because of my first child is the one that is still the rate limiting factor.
Oh, really?
On getting everything ready. The youngest one is actually pretty slick when it comes to getting out the door.
Right.
So not too much change there.
How are you coping with renos and little kids? Because that can be difficult because your mind has to be on the reno and you've got these other people you have to entertain and stuff. And you're like, well, I'm not just going to give you an iPad.
Well, that's exactly what we do a lot of times. So they watch
Netflix.
Yeah. So
Here's The Walking
what tends to
Dead.
happen is with see the only real reno stuff that we're doing ourselves is the paintwork.
Yeah, okay.
So that gets done generally when the kids have gone to
Just
bed.
like the block.
Yeah. So everything else that we've had done, retaining walls, concrete in the backyard, all those sorts of things, we've outsourced to other people, and we just bugger off and let them do it, and then come back and pay for it.
So what you're saying is you're a useless handyman.
No, what I'm saying is I trained for a profession, and that did not include DIY.
Yeah.
So I earn a
I'm with you.
professional salary, so I can pay somebody, because otherwise I'm doing somebody else out of a job, right?
Correct. Also, I don't like outside.
Yeah, well, I don't mind outside so much. I just don't like hard labor.
Yeah.
That's management
fair.
material, mate. That's management material.
You're right. Yeah. Outsource, delegate, done. Yeah.
Brett, how are my lovely nephews?
Look, yeah, they're fine. I'm still trying to come to terms with a white one and a black one.
You should probably give one back to its parents then.
Well,
there was an entire
I did
spit take.
Not
around.
see that coming at all. That was yeah.
There was an entire spit
that
take
was
around this
joyful,
table.
Brett. That was yeah.
I'm not even sure you're allowed to say that. Oh, comedy.
tell you, they
I
are.
just love how far you will go for the line. You're just like, you know what? Social norms be damned.
I've got an olive skinned one and one who's quite pale like
You
my
actually
wife.
do.
I've got a white one and a black one.
Yeah. Just can I clarify this? Just so you know, we are of an ethnic descent, so our skin is we're a little dark. We're not that dark.
Just to clarify, what
Just
ethnicity
olive.
is that?
I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure it. No, we are of Indian descent.
We're an Indian Maltese cross.
Yeah, as
So you're hypoallergenic.
yeah, that's right.
With all that hair.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Brett still sheds far too much.
From the anus.
But your wife is a very white skinned,
She's pale.
ginger haired.
She's pale. Yeah.
So like you're two.
She's so
you're
white, she's
two
almost Scottish.
Yeah, you're two minorities: the ginger and like a foreigner.
Yeah, well, she's got Anderson's one of her, like, Scottish.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. I knew it was there.
Yeah, she's so white, she's see-through.
Yeah.
So the first one kind of took my tone and fits in with the family because it looks like your kids, Jussie, and
Yeah.
there's a homogenous kind
It's
of look
yours.
there. The younger one,
Not yours.
well, hang on a second. He's 8.
You're allowed to make this joke about me.
Yeah, he's only recently turned 8, and I've had to teach him to shave, so I think he might be mine.
He's the
plane.
No, he acts exactly like me, the little one.
He looks exactly like you as well.
and does all the mischief. And his new party trick is the splits and the worm. And like he will
At
literally
the same time.
Well,
how does that work?
that is
well, he does the splits and flops out the worm.
Jean-Claude Van Damme did
He
that.
splits his pants and out comes the worm.
If you walk with that rhythm, you won't attract that worm.
I'm struggling with the eldest going to high school at the moment. That's
Yep.
Has he started?
he's grade 7. Like
Yep.
he's term 3 and grade 7 is a shit term.
It's not just grade 7, 8,
it's-
9, 10.
But teachers.
Yeah.
But in grade 7, it feels like they just go, right, we're not going to help you figure this thing out. We're just going to chuck it all at you and see how you go.
Yeah, you're a young adult.
If you can't manage it, there's always a trade.
But for 2 weeks, he'd still be in grade 6. So, you kind of
Which
go,
we can't do.
give the little fella a little bit of help figuring it out.
They're right. They got Google.
That's exactly what some of his teachers think.
Wikipedia.
So I'm spending a lot of time helping with homework, helping him with learning strategies and how to manage his homework and that on top of a busy job and a little fella who's, hates reading, and we're trying to, work. There's a lot of just trying to pick up the pieces.
So
and
what you're saying, I guess what I'm hearing here is that you have learning difficulties and you can't understand your child's work.
If part of that, it's a speech impediment that I've got that makes it really hard to.
It runs in the Fumble. Sometimes you put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
My kids are fine. How are your kids, Justin?
Good. Yeah, look at the tumultuous.
Thanks for your 3 kids taking my kid to get a Slurpee from McDonald's that he's never had before.
We did Slurpees for the first time in the last holidays.
Yeah,
There was the only time we'll be doing it.
Not Slurpees, McDonald's. He's never had McDonald's before, and
What?
Justin's kid took.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit. I am looking at you. They've had McDonald's.
Yeah, because I eat it.
Yeah. They
can't get it in.
They're my friend. No, they're not. Dad tax. The whole lot. The whole lot. Mine. Dad tax. Yeah.
You can get the sweet and sour sauce.
I'm finding I have 3 teenagers now.
Mm.
So my world is full of, that's why I have to go next door to the masturbatorium, because my house is just a giant one.
Oh,
There is no looking for odd socks in my house.
Have you had to put a new hot water system in?
I am not going anywhere. There's only one body part in the shower that gets cleaned. My house smells
Vigorously.
weird. There is a lot of weird aggression for no reason because they're all boys, and there's like these moments where they're just angry and you're like, whatever. It's a whole new world. What I will say to you is I have started driving lessons.
I saw the L plate on the back of your car tonight.
Oh, have I not taken that
No.
off? That I probably should have done that.
No,
But
keep it on. I've seen you drive.
Indian descent. Driving lessons are a really interesting space that I've found. There is a moment where I thought that I was going to be the driving dad who's like, motherfucker, man! Pulling stuff and stuff. I found a zen calm that I don't think I have ever found. And we're like, okay, we're doing this and we're talking really
You got an
calmly.
ASMR on him in the car.
And we're not just now coming up ahead and to think about this and make sure that, this is what you've got to do. I recently had young driver drive us home from dinner with the rest of the family involved. What I did find out is my wife is the worst backseat driver for a learner driver that you can ever imagine. He's getting on the freeway and she is fucking that shit up bad. She is giving him anxiety. He's like, and then eventually he's like, stop telling me what to do, Mum. And then he's like, Dad, can you shut her up? And I'm like, no, she's your mother. Have some respect. But
If I knew how to do that, I would have done it a while ago.
and then I'm like, okay, let's just pick who you need to listen to. We're both giving you solid pieces of advice. Some of us are just doing it in a lower pitch.
It is a learning experience for when you have to drive your friends around, though, and they fuck with you.
Oh, yeah.
They pull the handbrake on as you're trying to take off and put the. Did you ever do that with manual?
No.
So you sit in the passenger seat in a manual car.
I had friends that liked me.
As they're pulling the handbrake down, you put the gear in neutral.
No.
And then when they're putting the gear in first, you put the handbrake on.
No.
And then you stuck at the green light until it goes amber, and then you let them go, and they can't go through, and everyone behind is beeping and hating them as a shit driver.
No, I can't say I ever experienced any of that.
Wow.
You will.
Oh man, I'm surprised I'm still alive. That's the amount.
Do
of...
you have to do that tone when you're talking to him because he's locked you in the boot?
Yeah, he is stronger than I am now. He's got that testosterone crap that's going on.
It's all the roids.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, look,
he works out like he's in prison.
Because that's his future.
Life goals.
Yeah, he's got life goals. He's got
to have some more ramen, get the sodium in.
You got to get those goons. Ronnie Coleman.
Did he say N at the end of that?
Brains.
If he keeps the long hair, he'll be good in prison.
No, he doesn't have long hair.
I think he had long
No,
hair.
he cut it off.
Oh, that's the middle one. The middle one.
Oh, the
Yeah.
middle one. He also just recently cut his hair off as well. So he is a weird man. Like this is okay. Can I ask this question?
Yep.
I always know kids are weird, right? But my middle child, I love him to death. But my God, I think he was born in the wrong era. Like he literally should have been born somewhere in the 50s and 60s because like he will listen to Johnny Cash, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Beach Boys. Like he doesn't listen to anything else. Like he's obsessed with like old stuff, the Elvis movie, it is so bizarre to watch this thing form. And I love it because he's also a movie buff. And he's got some weird traits from me that you know, oh, that's actually a good dicey. Maybe.
He does have a lot of you as you were growing up.
Yeah. He's an odd bod
And
like
in
I
fact,
was.
I look at him and I see
Growing
our
up.
father very, very clearly.
Yeah. Who was also an odd bod.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I kind of go, oh, you are a strange kid. Like,
But don't
you know.
call him strange. It's the best music, and he's found a really quality music, and he's embraced it.
But-
And
Well, what I was going to say though is he doesn't give a shit. He is the most
the
confident
best.
person. He does not. He's like, I freaking know who I am.
Yeah.
I love this. I am going to be.
Most of
And that is
me.
good, especially in the current climate with
It
all
is
the problems
so
that young
good.
people
most
face.
of us
It's
spend
so good.
decades trying to find out what we like and how we like it and what we want to be, and he's right where he needs to be.
All right, I've changed. I was going to ask a question. I was going to talk about our kids, which was the question, but I've got a last thing before we wrap up today. Is really this question: what are the traits that your kids have inherited from both of you that you never thought would be a pairing that go together? Like, what are the strange parts of your kids that you go, oh, I see me, but I also see my wife. Like I see in some of my kids, actually, all but my youngest kid have my wife is a driven person. Like if she wants something, she knows what she
Unless
wants.
it's Clyden, and then she won't be driven by it.
And she goes out and she has no patience. Once she says, I need this, there's no patience and I need it now. My two oldest children, they are driven. One is obsessed with the gym. That's what he does. That's what he has to do. The other one is like, you know, an example of that when he was learning to tie his shoes. There was a step in our house. He learned to tie his shoes. If we would walk him to school and his shoes would come untied, you couldn't tie your shoes there. You had to walk all the way home, sit on the step. That's my ASD kind of tendencies. That's me as a weirdo. But it's also Tracy and her perfectionist and I need it done and I need it done now kind of stuff. So I see that. And then I watch my youngest child, who is me in my aimless glory. He is just a procrastinator and a half, and I love it so much, and it frustrates me so bad. So bad. So what are the traits that your kids have that you've got, like the best and the worst traits that you're seeing together of the two of you?
I'll go first on this one. I'll only go on Lorelei because Vivian, you know, she's only just discovered her tongue, so I can't really tell too much what she's going
I've heard her cry like you.
Why is it every time I'm taking a drink, you guys drop something? Okay.
I've also seen her shit her pants like you.
Anyway,
And Rachel has to clean it up.
No, that would be Lorelei. Lorelei has inherited Rachel's clean freakness.
Okay, yeah.
Like, she will clean up anything and everything. Like, she will.
I hope that stays.
I hope so too. Like, we make her breakfast in the morning. If it's something that, or dinner, if it's something she knows is going to be messy, she'll ask for a bib.
Oh, nice.
And then she will wipe her hands and stuff with a wet wipe and then clean up all the mess.
She's a lady after
And
my
then if
heart.
it's something she can't do, like there's a bird poo on the front balcony and she's like, you clean up this mess at me. So I'm getting nagged by my mum.
Leave that in. Do not edit that out.
Paging
Don't edit.
Dr. Freud.
Yes.
I'm being nagged by my wife and my daughter now.
My mum.
Oh dear, that's going to be some shit.
Yeah, you are in serious trouble.
Yeah, that's not only just us. That's yeah.
Still listening, Rachel?
Oh.
Still listening?
Breathe.
But on my spectrum, she is one of the most kindest little girls I have seen.
Talk yourself up, big guy.
She's almost too pretty.
Is that the backhanded
I'm
compliment?
just saying.
It's a humble
I
brag.
met my wife who's
Is that a
cold
humble brag?
and mean and heartless.
Just like my mum. Oh, my glasses putting up. Oh, poor
I think I'm
Lindsay.
done.
Good work, Lindsay.
I've never seen Lindsay turn that red before.
I don't think I'm going to be able to come the next couple of records, guys. I think I'm going to get banned.
Sleep strike, sleep strike, sleep strike.
I don't think I'm going to be able to. She's not going to let me out. A couple of weeks at least.
Yeah, our recording may
That's
be
right, you've been grinded.
delayed a little bit
Been
more.
grounded. Mum has spoken.
Who's next? Whew, I got to drink my beer.
All right, let's break up the Howboys so that so let's put the
Put a Norman in
English
between.
guy in between.
The Englishman between the
Yeah.
Indian guys, great.
We forgive it not.
It's hard to say, really, because there's still. Obviously, yours are very young as well, Lindsay. So it's hard to see that full development. I guess. Obviously, you've got much older children to see those things
I
develop.
saw it early.
So I guess with my eldest, she has a tremendous penchant for music.
Yep.
Like she can sing a tune like absolutely pitch perfect. She's the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
So
from
like
me.
Sarah.
Yes, I'm tone deaf. I
Okay.
cannot do it. I wouldn't say Sarah can sing, but that wasn't her strength. But music, she played instruments. Her mum's a music teacher, or was a music teacher. So there's
never
that, the
knew that.
music aspect of it
Yeah.
is definitely from that side of the family. And Elise is nailing that. So we went to a performance that the girls were both involved in, like a music, acting, and dance kind of thing. This weekend just passed. And Elise actually had a solo piece that she was singing on the stage, and she smashed it. And that's not just
for
like
her.
proud parent
Yeah.
kind of thing. But everyone was like, "Oh my goodness! Like your daughter can really sing."
Yeah.
So-
I did miss an opportunity to karaoke with your children the other day.
You-
when I
you
picked
should-
up.
you
I
would-
actually really wanted to, and
Yeah.
then I ran late. So
Yeah, you should. Yeah, Elise is fantastic. Ava tries. She's not quite there yet. I think she could be.
Yeah.
She's certainly still got an element of that musical awareness that I don't. Like I said, I'm completely missing those genes. Yeah, so she's definitely picked that up from Sarah. I would say my anxiety, maybe.
Oh,
It's
no.
like she's very on the go all the time. When I was younger, I used to be very hyperactive, like on the go, going from one thing to the next to the other, and just like leaving half-done things around the place, which is why the DIY is taking such a long time in our house as well, because I'll start a job and not finish it.
Yep.
So definitely those traits for my eldest. My youngest is just incredibly, I think, now not to say this, I don't want to fall into the same trap that Lindsay lynched himself
Just
with.
like your mum?
Yeah. No, Ava is an incredibly empathetic and compassionate. They both are.
Yeah.
I will say that both my daughters are very empathetic and compassionate. But whereas my youngest likes, will express that physically, like
Yeah.
cuddles and just
Yep.
be in that space with you and be content to be in that space. Whereas Elise will give you a quick cuddle, a kiss, and then she's off to the next
Yep.
thing. So Ava's very much more like me in that sense. I say that, but Sarah obviously is. I'm not saying that Sarah's like, Lindsay's mum and wife and cold and heartless, but sorry, Rachel, I'm just playing. No, so, but also for a long time, and I'll go back again to Lindsay, where you were saying about your daughter being very cleanly.
Yep.
My youngest was like that from the off. She's got to 6 now, and we're getting kickback, and I think a lot of it though is simply because she's like, I want to see how far I can push this.
Yeah.
But when push comes to shove, she's very organized, and she's the one that gets up and makes her bed in the morning and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so,
It's amazing how different they are.
And it
in
is.
that.
And that's
really
what
is.
I'm hoping sticks, because she's doing things like making her bed that we haven't even asked her to do or showed her how to do. Like she just wants it done that way.
Yeah.
Like if I try and dry the dishes and she doesn't do it, I get in trouble. Like I thought it would stop after she's done it a few times.
Yeah.
But no, she wants to do these things. And it's freaking weird, and I love it.
Yeah, interesting. I got 3 kids. One of them is very particular about cleanliness, which is very much. I'm quite particular about things, but also driven like my wife to actually keep things clean. So it's a really good trait, and he's the only one in the house. The other two are slobs, like you couldn't believe. Like if the three of us lived together, our house would be horrid. It would be a horrid thing, and all of us would be angry because we all like order. We just need someone else to do it for us. There, Brett. One's white, one's black.
Yep. Dimity's got this. There was a long period of time where I thought I could outlast Dimity in terms of letting shit lie on the floor or not picking something up. You know how that's a waiting game, right? You kind of go, I can outlast you.
I feel like you're trying to save me here, and I think I'm beyond saving.
Dimity doesn't listen to this shit. I'm fine.
Oh, yeah, true.
It is the game, isn't it? Like you'll clean it because you can't stand it more than
it's
I
whoever
can't stand it.
Whoever can't handle it will clean it up first.
Who breaks first?
Yeah.
And it's always been me, right? It's always, and like I've got a pretty high tolerance. I can deal with some shit. Dimity's got like expert. She goes Asian level difficulty. She is something out of the bloody ballpark.
I'm not even sure what that meant.
You know
I'm
how
not
you got
sure if it's appropriate.
Committed. It's
you
committed
got
to the cause.
easy, normal, hard, and then Asian level difficulty, like when you're
Okay.
playing online, right?
Okay.
She has that kind of stubbornness about she can just walk past shit on the floor, step over it. Like my room was shit when I grew up, and she's a whole new level.
So you looked at your room and went, "Oh,
Amateur.
this is clean."
She called amateurs, I think was what she said to me. So my kids have taken that trait from her. So I am the guy who goes, all right, I'll clean up. They will all leave the dining table and leave their dishes on the dining table. I'm like, oh, fuck you all. And I'll clean it up, put it in the dishwasher. My kids have learnt that from her. And I think there's something kind of loose and carefree about that, and something quite lovely about the fact that they can move from one space to another. Part of that is them being very personable, not me, that's her. And they'll move into another social space very, very quickly, but they'll leave all the detritus behind as they do. And I'll swoop in and clean it up. So there's that from her. From me, I see Wilder, like, you know, not to look at me now, but I was quite athletic when I was young. I was a state level gymnast. I had quite an athletic ability. Wilder I'm seeing that out of Wilder. He's doing the splits. He's climbing up door jams and getting to the roof. He's, you know, doing flips and stuff on the floor.
I would like to chime in on not just that. You were also a bit fearless. So you, if there was a height to be jumped off, you would jump off it.
Yeah.
If there was an ability to hurt yourself, you would try to get to the edge of that hurt before hurting yourself. You did that a lot, and then you hurt yourself a lot.
Well, yeah, I got hurt. I did. Yeah, I'm not saying I didn't get hurt, but I also did a lot of fucking awesome shit.
Yeah, you did.
Right?
You did. You're the one that taught me that the second story balcony of the house was an expert way of jumping down. To the backyard to get away from someone during a tiki game.
Right. Well,
you chase someone through the house and you just jump off the back balcony.
I learned that
and land on the ground and be like,
our older brother David
would beat the shit out of us.
Well, he was a larger guy, so didn't move fast. But when
Can I just jump in? I feel growing up with you guys as mates would have been freaking hilarious.
We
the
were
three of you. I reckon you would have been the guys that like all the shit went
there was
down.
a lot of weapons in our house.
Hilarity.
Our house was
non-stop.
the kind of place that people hung out in. My friends would sneak in through the back door. They knew how to get in the house without key. Like, you know, it was that kind of house. And then
everyone knew how to get into the house.
And Mum was like, "Come eat. You know, there's food for everyone," and everyone was welcome. But yeah, David was a larger kind of set. So he couldn't move fast, but if he caught
fat, he was
heavy set. He was big, right? But if he got you, he got you.
Yeah, he had an iron grip.
So all I had was speed on him, right? I couldn't do anything. So I learned to go, all right, run up the stairs, go to the back, through the kitchen, and just jump off the back deck. Because I get down there in half a second, he's going to go down the stairs and around. He's got to take a little breath at the bottom of the stairs.
We all ended up doing it. There were some fucking Nerf gun fights. In like, well, they were dart guns in those days, but boy, oh boy, we had some.
So there was some moments where, you know, we'd playing Nerf guns and I'd roll over the balcony. So I'd do like a half flip and then land a story down on my feet, do another roll and turn around with a gun in my hand and shoot back up. Like beautiful stuff like that.
All the stuff that kids these days do virtually instead of actually.
We had a fighting arena in our backyard.
did.
Like literally, I found. Do you remember the nunchucks I made and the tonfa that I made as a child? I found the box with those in it. Basically, cut up some broomsticks and tied them together.
You have your own teeth, right?
With string.
No, the only rule was no head.
No head. Okay,
that's what my wife said.
It's one of the vows.
Yeah, but there was backyard like fight. There were times when there are things we did. Like I believe we made a bow and arrow out of bamboo, and we may have shot arrows near or close to each other to see if we could catch them.
No, we were at each other.
Yeah.
So you know how you
Like,
get
yes, fucking stupid things.
you know how you get a peg and you put it on a block and then you put a straw and a rubber band and you make a little dart gun out of it. Have you ever done that?
No.
Oh, it's really, really
Never
easy
done
to do. And you get a peg, you put a little blue tack in the edge of the peg so that it's got some weight at the front so it travels that way. The blue tack wasn't enough for us, so we would put little pins through the blue tack so that you knew if it hit someone because a little dot of blood would be there. And then we would soup up the pegs so that they would stick into the brick of the house. So you go, oh, look at that. That's stuck in the brick. Now shoot it at me. Now shoot it. Like we would do all that stuff.
Yeah.
No safety goggles. No safety goggles.
Kids today don't know
we
they're
were
born.
free range children.
Free range.
And then you would hear mum that particular car and as good Asian kids would be like, scramble and clean the house and look like we were doing homework.
Yeah.
So we could be a doctor, lawyer, dentist. Anyway, look, I think that brings us to a really nice conclusion of here. The generations that we have. Imagine if we play this game for long enough for Miles to actually get laid and have kids, or for Reggie to have some offspring, or even
we have
After
to role
Lindsay's
play it?
comments, he's certainly not going to get
or
laid
the
and have
next-
any more kids.
or the next generation of He-Man.
I'm looking forward to meeting Miles's mum.
Grundabar, man. Oh, no. Wow. And on that note, laters.
Bubble group.
See you, Mom. Mom, don't come into my room.
I'm so fucked.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you're going to come into my room and I've got a laptop and the door's shut, you play with fire,
Well, no,
Mom.
I mean, that's great. He still gets to do what you call the danger wank, right?
Cool.
Yeah, you never did that?
Oh, it's a challenging wank, but you can get through it.
That's right. No, the one where you say, the UK one was like, Mum's downstairs, you shout her name to come upstairs and you got to get one out before she comes
What
out.
the fuck?
It's called the danger wank, yeah. You're on a time limit.
What is wrong with you?
Hey, no, just me. Just an UK thing.
I don't think that's a time issue. That's